Hello, how's everyone doing today? So, today I'm doing something different. I'm actually reading, I'm doing a reading on a cardology card. But this card was from yesterday, September the 30th. Yesterday was a Seven of Hearts universal, the universal card was a Seven of Hearts for cardology yesterday. So I kind of wanted to do a video on the Seven of Hearts and something that happened and a lesson that I kind of learned, and something that it might be beneficial to you. So the Seven of Hearts is basically a card of it's unconditional love and non-detachment. And those are the two things that I kind of wanted to touch on. But it also can go into, betrayal. Betrayal by people we love, people we trust, and things like that. Um, so yesterday, like I said, it was a universal card. So this was not just a card for an individual. So I was actually, yesterday walking past the TV, and the news was on, and I really have been trying to refrain from watching the news because it definitely upsets me. A lot of it, or it used to upset me. Um, so I just like try to refrain from, basically watching it a lot. But yesterday, I'm just going and walking by, and I actually a news reporter was on there, and she's giving a report, and they start to show a video, an interview, or of a press conference, and basically, basically what was going on is they were saying that the military, that the president was considering using the military, different cities, sending the military and using the different cities as training grounds in, certain cities and things like that. And, like I started to get a little upset, like just I just started to get upset. A lot of emotions ran through my mind. A lot of things ran through my mind when I heard that. So I leave out the room, come back, and then another reporter is reporting, and they have the defense secretary on there, and basically he is talking about, talking about the military, and you know, just a lot of the comments that he was making about, men in dresses, and, some of the statements that he was making about, you know, um, women and things like that, they upset me too. You know, I kind of watched a little bit of his speech, and, he was kind of talking a lot about war, the War Department. He brought God into it and Jesus, but war. A lot of war, a lot of war. The message was very clear on war, and I actually wrote down some of the things that like that that were said that like kind of disturbed me. But if you watch the interview, I mean, you've kind of formed your own opinion about it. But basically I wanted to get on here and just kind of like, I was so emotional, like, and I'm like, that's why I don't watch the news, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why, like, women are strong, going into all these emotions, and like, okay, but if the men in the dresses, then why don't any of them want to ever send any of their kids in? And like that, I'm just going into all these emotions, oh, the weight, but look, I just I just was going like into going into a bunch of emotions, right, that I didn't even need to go into, but I forgot about it. And then later on that night, I was laying in the bed, and then I started thinking about it again, like, you know like like, dang, that's just, what is the world coming to? And like, how could they want to turn the military on their own people and blah. And then I got to thinking about the speech that this defensive secretary is making, and I'm like, and how could he insult the people in the military and then I'm like, you know what? Non-detachment. Didn't we have, we were, that was a universal card, non-detachment. And it's hard to sometimes to practice unconditional love in certain situations like that, especially just hearing about, like, like how war, but people are protesting all across the country. There's so many things that are going on that are not being addressed, and just things are not. People are still every day, crying out, screaming out for answers and solutions. Just like, it's just so much going on over here, with the jobs and things like that, homelessness, things that have been going on for years and years and years and years and years and years and years, and these are things that just continue to get worse. 1 year better, worse. We can never seem to get the things in our own backyard under control, but we stay having these speeches and phenomenal wars and victories about things that really don't really benefit us, as the American people. And like, I do believe that a lot of people are waking up to this. That's why there are more people protesting. That's why there are more people saying, I don't care what color you are. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you wear a dress. I don't care what you do. That's your business. But this is affecting all of us. Like, we have one common enemy right now, one common enemy, not and then all these invisible imaginary things like she has, and like that don't even matter, and we just, a lot of people are waking up, but it's like a joke. It's like a joke when, like, and that's why I kind of had to, like, step out and realize that, like, I have to detach myself, like, a lot more from that type of stuff, because even hearing the, no more woke stuff, that was something that the defense of secretary said, no more woke stuff, right? Why though? Why do they want us to go back to sleep? Why do they want us to go back to sleep? Why do they want us to go back to sleep? And it's funny that they got and this is, this is the thing, like, you hear, like, I know you've heard before, like, the streets will never love you, right? And a lot of times, that could have been meant for people, like, that were out there in the streets doing bad things, and just for people that we maybe people like that we felt might have been different from us, people doing wrong things, people who just that's what you get, the streets don't love you, you out there in the streets, all these things, right? That it never happens to us because we're not in the streets, right? But a lot of people are waking up to see that, yeah, the streets might not love them back, but the streets turn into communities, and communities turn into neighborhoods, and neighborhoods turn into communities, and cities and states and countries. And I think that a lot of people are waking up and realizing, okay, the streets might not love them back, but the whole country doesn't love us back. We've been fooled into thinking our country loved us, and our country doesn't even love us back. The people, the people that we felt like were here to serve and protect us, now they want to turn them against us. Now they want to turn them. And the thing is, a lot of these people in the military, they have families in these communities, they have brothers, they have mothers and sisters in these communities. So, like, all I was really watching yesterday was fear tactics, division tactics, race tactics, sexism tactics, whatever, all types of tactics to keep us still sleep, right? None of that woke stuff, none of that woke stuff, none of that woke stuff, because I mean, that woke stuff is for them. Like, that's not for us. That woke stuff's for them. We need to stay asleep, right? No, we don't. We need to realize that we as a country, we as a people, no matter what skin color you have, no matter how your hair looks, your makeup looks, your country doesn't love you, and your country is showing you. Even this military that they have, that they get up here and insult and make the weak females and that need to catch up and be, and the men in the dresses and stuff, that these people that put their lives on the line for them to keep their pockets fat and to keep them up there, like, to keep them up there looking pretty, and with these phenomenal speeches, and nothing's ever getting done, and nothing's ever getting done. Like, I literally see protests now every week, every Friday in a certain part of where I live. I could go and ride down and see people protesting every Friday, like it's the club or something. And I mean, it's just amazing how we have these military speeches, and we're going to go into other countries and do all these things. And yet this is a critical time in our own country. And what we're most worried about is, like, are men wearing dresses, and are the women up to par? Are they worried about painting their fingernails? And like, and these are things that are just meant to scare us and keep us divided, and I just don't want to play into that anymore. And I kind of really wanted to get on here and really tap into, that seven is about the divine. They got on there, they talked about, if seven's about God, seven's about being the divine, whatever religion you are, if you're spiritual, you're religious, whatever, you seven, that's normally in there somewhere for you, right? But this is a spiritual card, and it's also a card of hearts. So that is about love. And what I heard on there is basically, I heard them talking about the divine, and I heard them talking about God, and yeah, but Jesus would want us to have the fiercest war team. I mean, I'm being sarcastic here, but I just, like, it's just like, do we really need to stay asleep, or do we really need to get that woke stuff up out of here? Do we really, is that what we really need to do? Because I mean, at some point, like, it's us. It's really us. Like, they're not hiding anything from us anymore. They said that he said the common sense is back in the White House. The common sense is back in the White House, right? No more woke stuff. Now, I mean, like, at some point, it's, and, we can, even with our military, even with the military, we can look at them and, oh, these are our enemies. But for real, they're being played just like us too. Because like I said, they have families in these, even if this is a fear tactic, if it's not, if it's something they decide to do, if it's something they don't decide to do, these people have families in these communities too. These people, there are women in these are people that felt like they were fighting for the country that loved them. And they're saying for them to, well, a lot of them, some people already know, and it's a secure job, just like any other. But there are people that to this day that are still, I want to die for my country. I will die for my country. And your country don't love you. I'm sorry. Your country don't love you. And the thing is like, you know, we all like we all are a fool for somebody. We all are a fool for somebody, you know, but it's like at one point you just gotta like just say, I can't be your fool anymore. I can't be your fool anymore, you know, and we just gotta wake up and realize like, you know, that like that it's just change. Be the change that we have to be the change that we want to see. Basically we have to be the change that we want to see, you know. And so I just wanted to get on here and just say that, but to also just kind of you know, just give a little advice, you know, that like a lot of these things like, you know, like instead of like listening to music sometimes and like just rocking out to it and not really taking any meaning to it, you know, there are a lot of artists now. Even Kendrick Lamar has a lot of stuff, and it sounds really it sounds yeah, but the one thing that he said was turn the TV off. Like, like that's like computers, the TVs, the phones, like that's not just a song. That's really not a song. Like it's really not a song. These things affect our day. They affect our moods, and we just don't even realize it. We're angry. We're looking at each other like the enemy all the time. And I mean, before I mean, you know, it might have been a secret, and it's good that these things are coming to light so that they can get dealt with. But you know, we need to come together and start dealing with these things and stop letting people who don't care about us and who aren't changing anything. They're not changing anything. They're not changing anything for, like, I mean, a little difference here, a little, like, you know. And the thing is, you know, like we can say like now, oh, you know, America, people say America's a joke now. People say America's a joke now. And it's not that America's a joke. It's just that, you know, we used to be the land of what, the home and the free, and they had all these illusional like, you know, imaginary terms, and you know, this was the place to come and make all your dreams come, and people believe that, you know. And they came, and a lot of people did make their dreams come true. I'm not saying that they did, but we were given these we felt like we had this freedom, right? This imaginary freedom, right? And we're realizing we never had any freedom, and we're realizing it like every day, more and more and more and more and more, you know. And that's why there are more protests. That's because we're realizing we never had freedom, you know. And you know, people are sitting back watching us around the world like, when are they gonna get it? Like, when are, like, that type of, like, their own president, their own secretary, they're just like, what's going on over there? Like, you know, like, no, don't feed the children over there. Feed the children over there. You know, don't come over here and help us. Do you need some help over there? Like, I mean, you know. And we still are worried about what skin complexion and what this and what that is, what is it, instead of realizing like we're never going to get nowhere if we sit up here and keep just pretending that these things that we are literally seeing and hearing from the leaders of the free world that they're not saying them, you know. And you know, I just wanted to come on here and just, you know, say like, you know, like let's, you know, just start just trying to just do things more to help you to just smile more. And one of those things is like, you know, you don't want to feel like you're missing what's going on in the world, but you ever heard like when you people when they get older, they say you're not missing nothing out there. you're really not missing anything. Like, the power really is in our hands. And if we, we do just feed into the fear. We feed into the fear. We feed into the hate. We feed into the, lack. And, I mean, it's just, it's just time, just time. And I guess more so, just I say this to just take our own power back and just, kind of practicing detaching, And so that was just kind of a quick message that I wanted to leave you with. Not that quick, but a message I just want to leave you with. And I hope that everybody has a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day.